Hey, what's going on? I'm Russ, and if you subscribe to my free weekly newsletter, you already know about this trade I just made. But for everyone else, let me walk you through why I just sold most of my number one individual stock. I went from holding 123 shares at my peak down to just 50 as of this recording, and I want to show you a few of the main reasons why I did that and what I am buying instead. Now, this isn't some hypothetical what-if analysis. This is real money and a real decision that I made that I had been wrestling with for a while. Now, this trade happened in my overflow account, which is where we put extra money after maxing out our 401k, Roth IRAs, the kids' 529s, all that stuff. Now, we took some expensive trips recently, including one to England and Scotland, and I had to withdraw some money to cover expenses and pay off credit cards. So we got the points, but with 21% APR, it's going to be really hard to get ahead paying that kind of interest. But we are tracking everything, and we are going to be paying ourselves back over time and replenishing everything that we pulled out. So this was for Nexstar Media Group, and my cost basis for the remaining 50 shares is $148.44. And with the stock currently trading around $170, I'm actually up on the position. But sometimes you got to take profits and reallocate when you see the trends changing and into what looks like a better opportunity. Now, I'm working towards 85% of our money in boring index funds and 15% into individual stocks. Why? Because as the Motley Fool shared in one of my favorite articles, 92% of professional fund managers can't beat the S&P 500 over a 20-year period. And you can see as of this recording, I'm at about 78% funds right now. So I'm not quite at my target yet, but moves like trimming Nexstar and splitting that between funds and companies like Zoetis, ticker ZTS, will help me get closer to that balance. I'm not trying to be some stock picking genius over here, and I'm trying to idiot-proof the portfolio with myself being the idiot, but I do enjoy the challenge of individual stock picking and receiving that growing passive income. Now, with Nexstar, I built up to 123 shares over the course of almost 3 years, and I think I'm guilty of focusing on Nexstar being a cash-flowing machine, rapidly growing their dividend, and buying back lots of shares, which is where they are now, but it's where their industry is headed that's got me worried. And after reading their 2024 annual report, it's what pushed me off the fence. And one of the things that got my attention was that in 2022, Nexstar had $971 million in net income, but in 2024, they had $722 million of net income, which is a 26% drop in a presidential election year when they should be making a lot of money from political ads. Because every even year, we have elections here in the United States, and those political ads should be flooding into their stations, and they still made less money overall during Trump versus Harris than they did during the 2022 midterms, and that's not good. Quick flavor here on Simply Safe Dividends. I'm going to also go through Zoetis, but to show you where Nexstar's at, they have a current dividend yield of 4.36%, which is pretty high. They think that they are overvalued, and they have a dividend safety score of 60, borderline safe. And there you see I'm down to 50 shares with a cost per share of $148.44. And as of right now, until I make another move, that's going to be generating me $372 of annual income. Now, Nexstar grows their dividend really quickly. They have a last 10-year CAGR of almost 30%, 5-year CAGR of 30%. And their last dividend raise was a little bit lower than historically it has been at 10%. But they have been growing that dividend for 11 straight years. And you can see they're paying out a whopping $7.44 in annual dividends per share. Now, based on the 5-year average price to earnings ratio, Simply Safe Dividends thinks that they are a bit overvalued, and their dividend yield is just sky high above the 5-year average of 2.62%, but their forward PE ratio is actually a little bit higher when it was an average of 8 over the last 5 years. Remember that you're paying $8 for every $1 of their earnings, but currently you'd have to pay up and be at $12.20. Their free cash flow payout ratio is really low. Earnings payout ratio getting a little bit high, but personally, I like looking at the free cash flow payout ratio a little bit better as a gauge on if they can comfortably pay the dividend. Because with the free cash flow, What can you do with it? You can pay a dividend, you can buy back shares, you can carry it as cash on the balance sheet, and do other things like mergers and acquisitions. Where the earnings per share number, the EPS, can be a little bit more financially manipulated, but they're both very important numbers in their own right. And that free cash flow per share has been going up and to the right. It was a record year the last 12 months. And their sales growth hasn't been too shabby, but earnings per share growth is expected to drop the next 12 months. Their total sales, it looks like it's just kind of starting to peter out a little bit. Although it was at a record high in 2024, that could be concerning because what are they going to do to get that extra growth? They're going to probably want to do some mergers and acquisitions, but what are they going to be acquiring? More broadcast television stations. Could be them buying more melting ice cubes. And there you see their shares outstanding. Almost looks like they're taking themselves private, down to 32 million shares outstanding. Now, as you'll see with Zoetis, the return on invested capital number is a little bit healthier. So we want to see that up closer to 20% for a really dominant company. But they do have nice free cash flow margin currently, because there's not a whole lot that has to be done once a broadcast station is up and running. So currently, 22 cents out of every $1 that comes into the door into Nexstar in sales, it's finding its way to free cash. And a lot of companies in their industry are a bit levered, so that's always a concern, but it's kind of par for the course for their industry. But currently, 75% of their capital structure is debt. And then I love the ICR, the interest coverage ratio. This tells us how many dollars of operating income does a company have to cover every $1 of interest on the debt. It's also called the EBIT, the earnings before interest and taxes. You want to see a healthy number. Yeah, 8 would be fantastic, as Simply Safe shows, but it's currently $2.96 of operating income to cover every $1 of interest on the debt. Not a lot of wiggle room, and that's another thing that had always given me a little bit of concern. Since we just went through Nexstar, let's look at Zoetis on Simply Safe. Dividend safety score of 74 safe. They have a higher credit rating. That dividend yield is a lot lower, but they also grow it very fast. And Simply Safe Dividends thinks that they are undervalued underneath $185 a share. There you see my fledgling position. Currently have 8 shares as of this recording at an average cost of $162.10. So we're currently down 3%, but I plan on holding this for the long term, and that should improve. I love the simplicity of the company. They were founded in 1952. They were spun out of Pfizer in 2013. And all that they do, they create and sell animal health medicines, vaccines, and diagnostic products. They support livestock like cattle, swine, poultry, as well as pets such as dogs, cats, and horses. And they do that by offering vaccines, anti-infectives, and medicated feed additives, and their main customers are veterinarians, livestock producers, and us, the pet owners. Now, Nexstar had negative 11% recession sales, but look at this. Recession sales for Zoetis, almost plus 30%. Zoetis' dividend growth has not been as fast as Nexstar, but come on, 20% 10-year CAGR, 21.4% 5-year CAGR, and they last raised that dividend 16% in December of 2024. And they too have been growing that dividend for 11 years. Zoetis is paying you $2 per share per year until they raise it again. And based on their 5-year trailing PE ratio, which remember, Simply Safe, this gray shaded area, what that tells us is the trailing 5-year price to earnings ratio, 10% below, 10% above, gives us a range. And when it's below that shaded area, it should eventually come back up. When it's above, it's probably going to come back down. So this looks like a good time, according to Simply Safe, to pick up Zoetis. Their dividend yield is also way above the 5-year average. Price to earnings ratio, which is what we want to see below the 5-year average, feels like we're getting a bit of a deal, although they are a little bit higher than the healthcare sector with their PE of 24.7, but I think they have a lot more growth ahead of them, so people are paying up for that growth. Very low payout ratios. Both look very healthy. They can easily continue to keep growing that dividend from what we see here. The earnings per share stair-stepping very nice up and to the right. Same thing for the free cash flow per share. Generally up and to the right too, with both having all-time records expected over the next 12 months. Sales growth is usually in the high single digits. They're slowly buying back shares, which is great. The total sales just keep going up and to the right. Remember that return on invested capital? There we are, over 20% lately, but high teens, low 20s is just fantastic. Really beautiful return on equity of 52%. Just all their margins are fantastic. 25% free cash flow margin. Remember, Nexstar was 22%, so they're beating them there. Net debt, much more manageable, 52%, and it has been declining overall over the last 10 years. And look at that beautiful interest coverage ratio of 15.6. They have $15.60 of EBIT to easily cover every $1 of interest on that debt. It's undeniable that streaming has been eating broadcast television and pay TV in general's lunch. But the real killer is the cord cutting, because paid TV and cable subscribers are dropping like crazy. And in my last newsletter, I shared that from March 2024 to April 2025, streaming viewership increased by 15%, while broadcast viewership decreased by 7%. And that's pretty much been the trend over the last several years. And I'm just not seeing this trend reversing anytime soon. And if anything, one would expect it to only accelerate as these younger kids start paying their own bills. I don't think they're going to pay up for cable TV packages because you have more streaming services, better content, cheaper prices. And why the heck would the majority of people go back to expensive cable packages or ever watch broadcast television? Except for the NFL. That's the one thing that broadcast television is still desperately clinging to. And something else that got my attention is podcasting. Donald Trump went on 14 podcasts during his campaign, and his Joe Rogan interview had 53 million views, which is why people are calling him the first podcast president. Ad dollars follow ears and eyeballs, period. Check this out. Something that really matters for long-term investors, I've learned, is return on capital employed, or ROCE. And when you find companies averaging over 20% ROCE, as Terry Smith and Pulak Prasad look for, this means the company usually has some kind of a moat or a durable competitive advantage. Nexstar has a 10.4% ROCE and Zoetis has a 25.7%. It's not even close. Zoetis is more than double. And a few margin numbers. Zoetis's gross margin 71% versus Nexstar's 59%. And Zoetis's net margin 27% versus Nexstar's 12%. So Zoetis is making more money on every dollar of sales. So which market would you rather be in? Declining broadcast TV? That depends on political cycles and slowing pay TV subscriber attrition? Or pet healthcare, where people will do anything for their furry family members? I know which one I'm choosing. I mean, people spend crazy money on their pets, right? Recession, inflation, it doesn't matter. Sparky's gonna get his medicine. And it's not just pets. Zoetis does livestock too. As the world eats more protein, especially in developing countries, that is a hell of a tailwind that's going to last decades. And from what I've been reading, Zoetis isn't just selling generic stuff. They're innovating, creating new treatments, new vaccines. When your dog needs treatment, you're not gonna ask for the cheapest option. You're just gonna want what works. And I'm just saying, like, we love our pets and we will spend anything on them to make sure that they're healthy, right? Because they're just like members of our family. We're not going to let them be sick. We're not going to let them have arthritis. And this guy is a huge reason as why I'm investing in Zoetis. And I've decided to part ways with Nexstar Media Group. Look, I could be wrong about both companies. That's why I want the bulk of my money in index funds. But when I buy an individual stock, I want high returns on capital, growing markets, pricing power, and predictable cash flows. Zoetis pretty much checks every box. Nexstar, not so much. I mean, Nexstar isn't a bad company. They own valuable TV stations. They're profitable, but the trends are just simply working against them. And that 28% net income drop during a presidential election year compared to the midterms 2 years ago, that's really telling me something. Meanwhile, Zoetis is riding long-term trends that aren't stopping anytime soon and growing global protein demand. The numbers don't lie, and sometimes you gotta make the hard decision to sell something that isn't working and buy something that just simply is. Remember, this is just one guy's opinion. You have to do your own research, but the lesson here isn't about specific stocks. I think it's about realizing how some of the most valuable lessons come from our mistakes and being able to admit that something isn't playing out the way you thought it would. Now, in this floating little box next to my head, I shared 5 rules that a dividend investor, I think, should follow after buying a stock. So if you click that floating little box right here next to my head, I'll tell you all about those rules there.